it's Melissa. In this video, we are going to go start to finish on your first print and cut with the Roland BN2-20A. So the same thing would go for the Roland BN2-20. That's the version that has white. But we are going to go start to finish to make a print and cut vinyl decal. So I made two here, obviously. And we are going to completely bypass VersaWorks. So this is so cool because now with the Roland BN2 series, you get a special version of FlexiDesigner that is specifically created to allow you to not only automatically add cut lines, whether that's to an SVG or a PNG or even a JPEG, it auto traces, automatically adds the cut lines. You can add bleeds, you can add offsets, you can add a lot of different features, and it allows you to print directly to the BN2 without going into VersaWorks at all. So straight from Flexi, that's included, to the machine. So let's do this. Let's hop over into the utility first, and we will go from there. Okay, so I have the Roland DG Connect hub set up here, and the first thing that I'm going to do is make sure that my machine is ready to print. So we're going to open up the utility by just clicking open, and the message at the top here says that output is possible. So we are all set to do that. This is the type of material, the media that I have loaded. If you have not already gone through the tutorial for adding media for the first time, then you will want to do that. I also have a video for that. Okay, so we'll just let that run in the background. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to actually bypass, in this case, VersaWorks completely. We are just going to go directly into the VersaWorks version of FlexiDesigner. So we'll just launch that directly from here. Now, this is what I would consider to be a beginner or basic option for adding automatic cut lines and sending directly from Flexi to your Roland BN2, whether that's a BN2-20 or 20A, you can do that. So the first time that you do this, one suggestion that I highly recommend is to set up a custom work document. So once Flexi opens, go to File and then click Document Setup. So what you want to do here is select Custom, which is all the way at the top, and then change the page width to match the width of your media. So in this case, well, not necessarily the width of your media, but the printable area. So in this case, it's going to be 18.9. And then for the height, you just adjust it however much you want. Let's just put in like 30 inches right now so that we get a pretty long piece. And then you can save this custom material page size so that the next time you don't have to do it. So next to the custom drop down, click that little arrow and click either set as default, which I actually like that option, or also add. So you can name it. I'm just going to name it Roland BN2 so that we know that we can use this for Roland. And then I'm also going to set it as default so that it opens up this way every time. Okay, now you can add your design. You only have to do that page setup one time as long as you do it just the way we showed there. Okay, so now I'm just going to go to File, Open, and I'm going to find my file. So I'm looking for a file that it can be an SVG, PNG, JPEG. I have this one right down here, Happy Last Day of School, that I am going to open. So I'll just click Open, and it's going to open in the workspace. Now, it is changing the document size to match the original size of the design. So I need to change a couple of things. First, again, from the document page, I'm just going to go back to File, Document Setup, and select the Roland size that we created. All right, so now it's down here. You can see when I select this design, just close that. When I select my design, why is it not allowing me to select it? There we go. That this design is 12, yeah, it's about 12 inches. So I'm going to scale it down eventually, but I'm going to do that after we create our cut lines. Okay. So with the design in the workspace and selected, I'm just using my mouse to click on it. I'm going to go to the effects panel and I'll click contour cut. Okay. You can see it instantly put a contour around my design. Now, few things. First thing that I would suggest that you do is change the color of your contour. So down here, you have all of these different contours. So if you have been around Roland long enough to know that the cut contour is typically that magenta fuchsia color pink. So it's whatever's called cut contour, that's what you want to use. So these are already built in to the FlexiDesigner VersaWorks edition. So this is what's super great about it. So I'm going to change it to that. Now let's worry about where the contour is. Okay. So as you can see, it's nice that it gives you the preview. You have the ability to change the distance of the offset. So let's say we want to create a sticker that is basically solid. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase my offset distance enough that everything kind of overlaps itself. And what you're going to see is that now I have basically almost one, looks like a little bit extra there, of an offset. So the more that I increase it, watch down here. I'm just going to keep increasing it a little bit so that there we go. So now I have one solid cut line around my design. Okay. But let's say I want the middle of the D to cut out. Okay. So I can change that to say cut with holes. And that is going to essentially put offsets the exact distance around the entire design. So even if, so the distance here is 0.34 from the edge of the L to the left. Well, it's also 0.34 to the right now. It has put holes in there. So you have the option to turn those on and off. Okay. So you also have the ability, if you want, to create a bleed. I'm going to show you in a different tutorial how to create a bleed in here, but essentially you would make this a negative number so that the offset becomes an internal offset. Let's just, for the sake of this beginner level tutorial, let's let this be right now. I'm actually going to increase it a little bit more so that I can eliminate some of that up at the top by that star. It's going to auto weld once it starts overlapping, as you can see there. Okay. Then you have one other option here that you can change. Watch the angle of the offset itself when I change to something like this. Okay. See how it got like more squared off or harsh? You have those options to change. Okay. And then I'm just going to click check, and that is going to apply the contour. That's it. That's all you have to do. There's no more bouncing to a bunch of different programs. Okay, so now we can just change the size of our design if we want to. We can scale it. So in this case, right now, we're starting on this Design Central panel. It has a lot of options for you. So right now you can see I'm in the contour panel. If I go over here to scale on that same panel, I can adjust the size. So whatever size you want your design to be, I'm just going to change this down to 5 inches. And it's going to stay proportioned because I have the proportional box selected there. And then I'm just going to move it up to the top left corner, and we are set to go. So if there's anything else that you want to do with your design, like rotate it, you can do that from that option there. If you would like to duplicate, you can right click and click duplicate, and then you've got a duplicate design there as well. I like to do this if I'm bypassing VersaWorks completely. Okay. All right. So we've got our designs, and now what we're going to do is we're going to send it directly to the Roland to print and cut. So you're probably thinking, I'm going to go to File, Print. No, you are not. That is not going to work. You're going to go to File, Send to Device. So it's available from the File menu, or it's available up here on the top toolbar. So either way will get you to the same place. Again, this is why I am suggesting that this is a beginner and a pretty basic, but definitely still workflow friendly option, because you get enough settings and options, although you don't get all of them. So if you want to get more options, if you want more customization, and you want to tweak things like the color profile, or if you have a different type of material that's not in these settings, then you will want to export. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a separate video, so you can do everything to this point, and then you can export as a PDF and open in VersaWorks. Okay, so if you're using this method, you're going to make sure that you are on your BN2, and then you have your it's showing you here where the cut lines are going to be, and then you're not going to click send yet. You're going to click print parameters, and you're going to select the media type. I am using vinyl, so I'm just going to select vinyl. I want standard mode. I just leave this. There's not even another option there. Cut controls. Do you want to print and cut? Do you want to cut and print? Print only, cut only, select. Most people are probably going to be doing print and cut. If you have black along the edge of your design, black ink, and you're going to be cutting along that, you might want to do cut and print instead. Yes, we want to cut all paths. How many paths? These are all options for you. Do you want it to cut an image boundary? You can say disable, or you can keep it there. If you keep it there, it's going to put a square box around your design to help you weed. It's basically a weeding box. And then in other, you have a couple of other options here. Cut the sheet after the output or disable. I just am suggesting to you to leave all of the defaults, and then you'll click OK. Now, clicking OK is not going to send to print. You need to click send, and that is what is going to send the design to print and cut on your Roland. So that'll start in a couple of seconds, just depending on how long your printer has been sitting. If it's been needs to warm up, it will have to do that, and then it will send. Now, what you can do is you can take a peek at your utility. It's telling you right now, here is the progress. It is printing. If it is not printing and you're like, what is taking so long? Check your utility. Maybe the print heater or the dryer is not to the temperature that it needs to be, and that could be part of why it is not printing yet. And then, of course, in the utility, you also have the ability here to see how long it is going to take to do this job, along with a status bar. Okay, as soon as the printing is done, the utility is going to give you a couple of more options. In this case, I want a sheet cut so that my decals are cut off of the main roll. So I'm just going to click sheet cut, and it will cut across there. So this is really beneficial because it's now going to give me a very nice clean cut. It's also going to advance the media as minimum as possible so that I don't waste as much material as I might if I was manually trimming off the sheet. Now, there's not a catcher, so just be aware that if you use the sheet cut, it be there to catch it or it will fall. Okay, so now that's all that's left to do is to weed these out. So I'm just going to weed this vinyl really quick so you can see how these decals come out. So you can see what I'm doing here. This is that weeding box that I was basically telling you about that was put along the outside when we told it that we wanted it to cut the perimeter. And now I have my decals. I'm just going to pull one off of here, off of the sheet, so you can see how these come out. So not only do you get really, really nice, high quality vinyl decals, obviously you can do heat transfer. There's so many different things you can do with a Roland. If you haven't checked out my blog post on all the different things that you can do with a Roland, basically what can't a Roland BN20 do, or BN2-20A or 20 do, make sure you check that out. But now you have the ability to add those cut lines faster and more efficiently and easier than ever before with that Flexi software that is included with this model. It is not included with the original BN series, the BN20 or the BN20A, but with the BN2, the Flexi is included. The other thing, that's just one of the new upgraded features. The other thing is this thing prints 4 times as fast as the original. And if you don't believe me, I did a speed test, so you can check that out. One took 8 minutes, one took 38 minutes. So that's actually more than 4 times as fast, but you can check that out as well. So if you're looking for where you can get a BN2, make sure you check the description below. I have links for you along with recommended bundles. I also have more videos, so you want to check those out. If you're looking for one-on-one help, I offer that through my subscription website, Silhouette U, which I offer one-on-one help along with exclusive videos that I do not put here on YouTube, along with a lot more. So make sure you check that out as well. All right, you guys, I will see you soon.